Hey guys, Brackish Ghost here. Just did another mod to the PTR-91 GI model. Did the HK style GI paddle magazine release. It's all factory HK parts that were off a cut receiver section that I got off of rtgparts.com. I did it two reasons. First one, think it's cool, put it back to the HK spec. Second reason is I'm used to running AKs more than anything else, and it's just a more natural feeling for me. So, I'm going to show you a little video here coming up of a couple steps it took for the modification process to put it on this rifle. It took me all in all about 2 hours to do it all. Sorry for the lighting sucks, you can barely see it, but there's other clips in the video. So, here you go.
Alright, here you can see the difference between the semi-auto right here with the part welded on over the receiver versus the original part. It's a piece cut off of the original HK receiver. And this hole would allow for the pin to go through for the original grip assembly, which housed the full auto control groups, but this blocks that from being able to happen. So what you need to do is get one of these semi-auto bushing and pin sets so that you're not running the full diameter hole, so you can't attach any full auto parts. So I'm going to start by getting some measurements on the original part from the flats to the center of the bore here, so that I can properly align to drill a hole to put that pin in over here. So now I'm going to start taking measurements. I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but the measured 3 positions from that down, made the 3 ticks, and scribed the line. Did the same thing off of this, scribed the line, and where the 2 lines intersected was where I drilled for the pin that's holding the whole assembly together. Alright, when you actually drill the hole, you drill through the first side and into the second side, but not through it. As you can see, the hole down there, it's enough to stabilize and support the pin, but does not go through the receiver. You can also see this block right here is going to need to be machined out, because that's exactly where the paddle sits, and that pin and bushing are going to have to go through it. So, gonna have to get that out. Now I'm going to remove this block, just using a simple drill. You can drill it, probably take 3 or 4 different holes to get it all out. Obviously don't punch all the way through, because you don't want to do that, but just drill it down so it's flush with the rear flat of the receiver back there. Once you've got everything in place and you've assured that the catch assembly works properly, put a little counter bore in it so then you can weld over it, because the pin has to be secured in to keep it legal. Here you can see the finished product. Everything's back together, the hole's been welded shut and filed smooth, repainted to match the receiver, and everything's done. And here's the finished product. Everything all back together. Ready to go. And here, now that it's all together, you can see how the whole system works. It's just the paddle goes in there, hits the cam surface, and compresses the spring. And then when you go to hit the normal mag release button, it moves independently of the paddle. The paddle doesn't move at all. During the conversion process, I had 2 unexpected things happen. You can see the holes here. Up inside the receiver, there's some welding slag from welding on this big semi-auto piece, and it prevented the paddle from being able to seat fully and pivot. So there's no good way to get up angle in there to grind it out or drill it out. So I just punched 2 holes through, and it took care of the problem. It's not going to affect strength because you have this massive block welded on around it anyways. The second issue is over here on the side of the paddle. The receiver came back about an extra 1/8 of an inch, and that material had to be removed back to where its current location is. That's actually a good thing. I've heard stories about the HK paddles being loose and flopping around, and you're able to adjust the amount of preload on this paddle assembly by how much material you remove. So I have it just on the edge now where there's no play to it.